So, welcome everybody. Good, turning off. All good today. Hopefully, no glitches. We're going to start our class actually standing up. Okay, good. So, standing. If you're the usual way when they're lying down, the first thing we might do is give us ourselves a good stretch. So we can do that here too. So really kind of stretching and maybe reaching out. Have a yawn escaping me once I start stretching. I'm sure it's good. Releasing something. Good. Maybe even though we're gonna do a bit of that as well in the shaking, but sometimes it just helps, kind of a little bit of a shake hands, legs. Okay, good. So finding a comfortable position, feet maybe hip width apart. So find distributing your weight equally over between the right and left leg and foot. And if you're barefoot, you might really just feel the soles of your feet connecting. Now, even if you have socks on, you probably still feel something, maybe not quite as intense as having bare skin on the mat, directly on the mat, or maybe on the carpet, while you're standing there at this moment. So, in the sense that the soles of the feet are very, very sensitive. They can pick up a lot of information, a lot of experiences. And then going through the body, so finding alignment. And your spine. So the usual, also when we're lying down, do the same thing. So aligning literally from tailbone to the head, so that you feel, and you might have your eyes closed at this stage now if you're comfortable with that. But we're standing centered. So can you get that sense of centering ourselves? And there's also a lovely expression in the way saying like resting within ourselves. So we are comfortable, we are at ease, but at the same time, of course, we are standing. There is a little bit of effort required to stand upright and tall. But if everything is well aligned, it would be minimum effort, because we are well designed to stand upright without huge amount of effort all the time. And ever so slightly, see if there is a bit of a possibility of lengthening yourself slightly. And it might come more from within rather than an actual physical, lengthening of the spine. Maybe it's more kind of a spaciousness, a sense of spaciousness that we can create within ourselves. Checking in with the usual areas like the shoulders here and the neck. How does that feel? And the head, comfortable. If you're tired with your neck, you might just let the head roll forward for a moment till you're ready then to lift it up again, and just finding that comfortable alignment where the chin is neither up nor down. So standing here and just reminding ourselves of where we are and our practice here this moment. I know it's a different way of starting, but it's good to shake it up a little bit. Sometimes our routines, and also giving different possibilities. You don't always have to start lying down. There's no rule in the book that says start your class lying down. So I'm going to ring the bell now to start. So we take that opportunity to walk with the breath here while we're standing. So let's bring the arms a little bit away from the body with the palms facing forward. And the fingers also stretching out a bit so that we can actually feel there's a lovely opening right up coming from through our chest, the front of the arms. And already without doing much else here, this is actually already stimulating kind of a deeper breath. Actually, it's actually stimulating more chest breathing, which is not really what we're practicing, but it's good, you know, it's opening that middle rib cage. So with the next inhalation, let's just move the arms slowly up above the head. You don't have to bring the arms together, just wherever you're comfortable, up, and feel like the lower rib cage, when you lift up the arms, how the lower rib cage also is pulled out to the side, encouraging diaphragm breathing. And then bringing the arms down again. Keep your length as the arms return. Exhale. Relaxing the shoulders. Each time the arms comes down. And again, breathing in. And for more stability, you might also engage with your feet and legs, pressing them ever so gently more into the ground to help you to extend and also to stand more steady. And exhale. Going down. So you might repeat that 3 more times with breathing in for about 4, breathing out for 6, or something similar to you, always with that emphasis of slightly longer exhalation. So it's good to also, you know, change our positions for our breathing practices. So it's not just, again, getting the idea that we can only breathe in that kind of way, which the diaphragmatic breathing of lying down. You know, ideally, we can breathe into our lower lungs in any kind of position. So maybe last round. So let's top the head forward. You might start moving a little bit on your feet if you feel, you know, you want to get stuck here and too static. So move a little bit, moving from one foot to the other, maybe rolling the shoulders. I don't know if you can do all that in a kind of nice, loose way. So especially if the neck is a bit tight, so look down for the moment. And then starting to shake arms, wrists, one leg at a time with it. Our hips, see how that feels. Shoulders and everything. Our doggy shake. Good. So with the feet a little bit further apart, feet firmly on the mat. Let's roll or move our hips and lower back. So starting to loosen out here, middle part of the body. So keep the legs maybe a little bit further apart. So, you know, so there's nothing, it feels very comfortable and slightly bent. Good. Circling and allowing the movement to grow and to expand into every part of your spine. So at some stage I have started letting my arms actually go at the end because it just feels better. to move the shoulders. Good. And then we pause for a moment and go the other way. So that we can again start small and just letting it gradually expand. And moving into other parts, especially then also coming really to shoulders and neck and maybe, do you notice maybe that's when you turn the other way, and I always notice I'm not as coordinated. You know, it's not actually doesn't flow as easy, especially when it comes to the upper part. So, you know, noticing even those kind of little things that, you know, interesting. Good. And then moving literally just from side to side, and you can shift the weight also from foot to foot and bring the shoulder up. And then we stop lifting the elbows as if you're going to lead with the elbows out. And then starting to lead with the hands, the octopus idea all around, and starting to really stretching up, reaching up, emerging. Good. Okay, and coming back. And then this kind of, as if you're going for your front crawl in the water, you know, you can go forward with your arms. And again, let the shoulders and the trunk move nicely with it. And then we go for our back crawl. The arms with it. Good. And then we're not finished yet. And then we go from our, remember this, the energy ball between our hands, and we're kind of moving it around. We can move it around in front of the body. And then we can also make a lovely figure of 8. We haven't done that for a while. It's a nice figure of 8 all around. So if you find that maybe the neck or anything that's kind of tired, can you relax, not stopping the movement, but can we make it a little bit more flowing so that the muscles maybe don't get so tired. And then can we do our figure of 8 the other way around? Remember, that's also tricky. I have to think myself now. How is that going to go? And again, you know, when we're doing this, when we're doing it the other way, we probably tense up a little bit more, we're less coordinated. So once you flow, can you just let it more flow in the body? Good. And then gradually make it smaller and smaller. And we're actually going to stop going forward and down. Instead of just kind of quickly go forward and down, let yourself be pulled slowly down, as if you're pulling yourself on a little rope downwards. And even when you're down, keep moving a little bit from foot to foot. The arms still going around. And then gradually coming up again. So if you're pulling yourself up on your rope. Good. Coming up. And then just standing for a moment. A lot of movement Standing then together with the feet, and we're gonna do more formal stretch. Actually, no, let's start with the feet a little bit apart first, and stretching from that position. With the fingers interlocked, the palms facing down, and then you lift up. So keep the feet firmly on the ground. So you're pushing the soles of the feet down, reaching up, engaging maybe with the middle part of your body to stabilize, and then just do a gentle swing from side to side. Now, if you find that too strong, then move the feet a little bit more apart. Yeah, so the closer they are, the stronger, of course, it will be. And see if you can move the hips as well. So it's not just the trunk, so the hips are also moving to the side. Good. One more round. And up. And then slowly releasing. Good. So let's maybe just shoulders by itself. I'm still finding them tight, but maybe it's just me. A lot of physical work. So shoulders. Good. Okay. So for the hips, standing with the Elvis pelvis. If you want to, you can bring your hands here on the hips. It doesn't make any difference if you don't. Or it doesn't make any difference to the movement. It might make a difference how you feel about it. So standing on the tippy toe of your right toe and moving the hip joint here. So you're kind of circling on the tip of your big toe. And changing direction. And then shaking out. Good. Okay. So left, circling the hip joint. Good. And then changing direction. Good. And shaking out. Placing the feet very close together, so they're definitely touching. The knees are touching. You bend your knees. You just bring your hands just above the knees here and starting to circle with the knees. So we bend a little bit, going around, straightening out. Also great for your ankles. Changing direction. Good. Okay, and then releasing. So hands forward and bringing the right knee and the left knee up. So getting our hips good up, nice and high. And then sideways. Good. Okay. Again, little wobble. Hips and pelvis. Then standing a little bit more apart with the feet slightly turned outwards. And just half squats. We're not going to go all the way down. But even just kind of, keeping the feet well on the ground. As if you're doing our horse riders pose. But we're not going to do that. It's just more feet out, bending the knees, going a little bit down and coming up. And making sure the knees are all going out to the side. Good. So down a little bit, keeping the soles of the feet engaged with the ground and up. Good. Again. Maybe two more. Good also for strengthening. Good. And shaking out. Again, keeping the legs apart And you can go halfway down, have the elbows on the knees, and then we're going to literally go with bending, going with our weight to the left leg, left knee bends a little bit more, and the right leg starts stretching out. So we want to keep the soles of the foot and the sole of the right foot down, but straightening out a little bit. The stretch should be more on the inner thigh. And then we do that the same on the left. So not too fast. So if you're going over to one side, maybe just count 1, 2, 3 for the stretch, and then go gently and slowly to the other side. So always give the muscle enough time to actually stretch out, not going too fast. So each side, maybe 2, 3 seconds. Good. Then turn the feet slightly forward again and go all the way down, hanging down. If the legs can be straight, keep them straight. Otherwise, of course, bend them. So we're hanging down in a relaxed, wide angle position. If the hands are on the ground, interlock your elbows, relax your head, and really hanging down here, and letting yourself be stretched out. Good. And then softening the knees and rolling up slowly, just taking a moment. Okay, and then stepping back. So hopefully all is nicely stretched out. We're going to practice 3 rounds of Surya Namaskar. And you can prepare to go in front of the mat. So already knowing, if you're going to do 3 rounds, that, if you need to take something off, I would take it off now. So you're not in between, after the first one, go, oh, actually, I'm getting too hot, I need to take something off. So it's always a good, now, because ideally we want to have those 3 flowing rounds. And you have the option, of course, with, cat pose or cobra. So let's find our position here, feet firmly underneath the hips. Again, centering ourselves. You might close the eyes for that moment. Balancing in such a way that it actually feels effortless here, the posture. And we are coming actually to midsummer, to celebration of the sun, the longest day. So we might not feel like it from the outside, but connecting with that sun energy, warmth, light, brightness within ourselves. Good, so let's bring the hands together into prayer pose. There will be no breaks between the 3 rounds. So if you do need your own break, take your break. But otherwise, we will be really flowing for the 3 rounds, one after the other, and keeping the breath very steady. Remember that idea of always breathing in and out to the nose and keeping the breath steady as you can and light. Good. So let's begin. Breathing in, stretching up. Exhale, falling down. Inhale, right leg steps back, coming onto the fingertips and pushing the hips forward. Mountain. Exhale, so nice wide hands here. Coming down, touch or cobra, breathing in. Mountain, exhale. Left foot steps forward, breathing in. Right foot forward, exhale. Inhale, swinging up. Hands together, exhale. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, folding down. Left leg steps back, breathing in. Mountain, exhale. Catch, cobra, breathing in. Mountain, exhale. Right foot forward, breathing in. Left foot, exhale. Inhale, stretching up. Exhale, prayer pose. Inhale, extend. Exhale, falling down. Right leg steps back, breathing in. Mountain, exhale. Catch, cobra, breathing in. Mountain, exhale. Left foot forward. Right foot forward, exhale. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, prayer pose. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, forward. Left leg breathing in. Mountain out. Catch, cobra in. Mountain out. Right foot in. Left foot out. Inhale, stretch. Hands together. Exhale. Inhale, stretching up. Exhale, folding down. So nicely flowing. Right leg back in. Mountain, exhale. Cat, cobra in. Mountain out. Left foot forward in. Right foot out. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, prayer pose. Inhale, stretch. So keeping the breath steady. Exhale, fold. Left foot in. Mountain out. Catch, cobra in. Mountain out. Right foot in. Left foot out. Stretching up in. Hands together, prayer pose. Letting the arms relax down alongside the body. Stay with your breath, but keep the breath steady. Or even lengthening the exhalation, even if it's very challenging. And even keeping the breath soft, which is even more challenging if you're kind of feeling you need a lot of breath. So coming down onto all fours, and the first part is actually the child pose. So just to rest for a moment in the child pose. So as best as you can, sitting back, maybe having your arms back, also support your head. Allowing your spine to be nicely stretched out. That's also a very good resting pose, getting the heart to kind of, coming back into a more kind of relaxed pace. Then placing the hands beside your knees and coming up. So coming up onto the knees and stepping forward with your right foot. So the right foot steps. So we're basically in a kind of a equestrian pose, except our arms are still up. Yeah. So the right foot is forward. Now, if that is very strong on your knee, you might actually want a little cushion there, or depending on really how it feels. So all we're going to do at the moment is literally going forward and back. So placing both hands gently on the right leg and stretching forward. Now, if you go forward and you don't feel a stretch in your left thigh, you need to step further forward with your right foot. And also, when you're forward, the right knee doesn't come much further forward than your ankle joint. Yeah, so that still applies. Good. Okay. So the next time you're forward, see if you can hold here and let go of your hands on the knee and the arms alongside the body, with a little bit going back, palms facing forward, and continue to lengthen your spine and arching back a little bit. And if you want, even letting the chin rise up, and imagine you kind of want to really reach behind you with your hands, with your arms. And the right knee is still forward, and we're still stretching into the left upper thigh. And then swing your arms forward and straighten your right knee out. So we're kind of bringing the leg back. Now, if possible, keep your toes still towards the ground. They might not stay completely on the ground, but it's actually a little bit of a balance pose here. And that's what we want. If you can you bring the palms together above your head? Holding here, standing. So it's a bit of a balance, so don't be surprised if the palms are touching, if you can, above the head or close. Good. And then releasing, and we do one more time. We go forward, letting the arms go down, reaching back and looking up. And then bring the arms forward and up, straight into your right knee, as best as you can. Bringing the palms together, maybe looking forward, slightly ahead of you on the mat. Good. And then release the arms. And in the best way you can, take your right foot back. And then what you do is you shake out your left leg. So give it a really good shake. I know that might have been quite strong on your kneecap or knee. So I mean, often, I tend to kind of avoid this practice now because I know people have problems with the knees, but actually for those who don't, we're actually missing out. So apologies if it's really bad, if it's really not great for you on the knees. Then maybe find a different variety. So you're going to bring the left knee forward. Of course, left foot forward. Of course, there's always the possibility, with practicing the knee off the ground. You might do a variation like that. So again, we have our hands on the knee, on the left knee, or just above the left knee, and going forward and back. So again, if you don't feel a stretch on the right thigh, you have to step for enough. And the knee also doesn't, can't or should not come in front of your further forward in your ankle joint. Good. So once you're happy in that position, but happy, that's okay, the right position, then letting your arms go alongside your body and stretching back, palms facing forward. A little bit of arching in the back. If you can, shoulders stay down, they really pull down. The head might lift up a little bit. Breathing here. And then bring the arms forward and up. Straighten your left knee, your left leg, and bring in the palms, if possible, together. Now, if you do get cramps, some people might get a cramp, you might have to lift the toes up. I can feel slight cramp coming into my left heel here. Maybe because I didn't drink enough today. Good. And going forward again. Arms go back. Arching backwards. Looking up. Shoulders are down. And forward and up, straightening the left knee, bring the palms together if you can above your head. Good. And then releasing. Good. Stepping back with your left leg and give the right leg a shake. Good. And we're going to actually not sit on the knees. We're going to come and actually turn around to sit on the buttocks. So enough for the knees. And I know, like I said, it might have been very, very strong. Maybe what we can all do is we can give our knees a little rub. So bring the hands on your knees and give them a little reassuring rub. There's always, that kind of balance between taking care of the knees, not doing too much on them, or putting them under pressure. At the same time, if you don't challenge them, or if you don't kind of work with, I think, we're also kind of, we're not kind of helping ourselves either. So there's always that kind of balance. We can't always avoid it. Good. So let's lean back just enough that you can, have a bit of support with your arms behind you. And you might, because we've done a lot of the ankles here too, let's just roll the ankle joints. Changing direction. Shaking out. Bringing the right heel in towards your buttock. And maybe lifting the right slightly up. And then stretching out. Pulling the left leg in. Maybe lifting it up a little bit. Straightening it out. Right. Coming up. Straightening out. Left. So that should be okay for the knee now, because we're doing straight kind of movements here. There's no pressure on it. Good. And again, left. And coming up. Good. Shaking out. Sitting upright. Shaking out. Wrists, hands and wrists. Good. And releasing. Separating the legs. Good. So a variation of our churning the middle. Churning the middle usually is when we interlock the fingers and we're going around. Yeah. So another variation, which is maybe even slightly easier and but also nice on the shoulders, is to actually imagine we have this really big table in front of us. So it's all the reason for the table is it's kind of at the same height all the time. Yeah, so it's kind of just maybe below the chest. So that table is right here in front of us. So what we want to do is we want to place our hands on that table. So the palms are facing, resting on that table, and then we're going to start wiping the table. We go with our hands and we go around. And you can lean back a little bit and lean forward and go as much to the side as you can. Bring your hands back towards your chest and going around. So with churning the middle, we never bend our elbows. So it's a bit different. So, but we're going to keep the same height. Keep the same height. You don't have to go down towards the ground. Good. Big table and almost round. So you have to kind of lean back to get that curve towards your body. So let's do one more round in that direction. And when you're forward, when you have reached the front of your table, then just for a moment, drop the arms anywhere on the ground, doesn't matter where they are. Drop your head. Really feel the weight of your head And a little yes or no with your head movement, just making sure it's not getting too tight here. And then we sit up. And you might want to separate the legs even further if that's possible. For our second round, where we're going the opposite direction, yeah, for our table. So if the table gets higher and higher, it gets harder on your neck. So the table, maybe just literally what I normally do is just underneath the chest, where maybe by the lower rib cage or just above that, maybe, that area. Good. So not too high, not too low. And then, with this time we go the other direction. So we're gonna work the table for the other direction. And remember also to lean back as much as you can and stretch forward and sideways. Let's do another round or two. And when you're forward, next time. So this time, bring the hands down, but let them go out to your legs. It doesn't, again, it doesn't matter where they end up. It may be your ankle joints, it might be your shin bones, it might be some of your, very easily the toes. So it doesn't matter. But a little bit of a stretch is good, but don't force anything. But at the same time, then relax. You can have your hands on whatever part of the legs, but see if you can relax the head again and letting the upper body lean forward, using the weight, literally actually of your head, your shoulders, your arms to pull you forward a bit. Keeping the buttocks relaxed, the back of your thighs, even feeling into the pelvic floor here, relaxing. Holding for another moment. If you can rest the lower of the forearms on your legs, it's quite nice too, if they can rest there. And it also stops you from trying to pull forward. And then slowly coming back up. Placing the hands comfortable behind and gently bending the knees. And just a moment, just resting with the knees bent, you're leaning back a little bit, feet on the ground. So the back of the thighs can relax. And then when you feel ready, starting with the knees going from side to side. And you can go a little bit further each time so that your trunk then also starts kind of turning. Good. Again, you might need to mind your knee with the leg that's going inwards. And then we will, from here, kind of, smoothly go into the other variations. So where the knees go to your right side the next time, yeah, so that your left arm comes up And you're turning the entire trunk to your right side. The left hand comes onto the ground, and you bring your forehead in between your hands on the ground, if you can. And then coming up, bringing the left arm back, knees moving over to the left, and then this time it's the right arm that comes over, the right shoulder, and the forehead going onto the ground between the hands. Good. So in the best way you can, letting the entire trunk turn here. Good. Come around to each side. Nice twist. Yeah, for the spine. It's kind of a twist. Kind of quite different orientation. Good. And then coming back. Straightening out the legs and touching the arms. So before you lie on your back for more practice, we just gonna stretch the arms out, legs are out, arms stretching up. Maybe arms out to the side. Great. Good. Okay. And then you can literally just turn around so that you're going to lie on your back, making sure that you have space behind you. Yeah, so you're rolling back and just do make sure that the arms can stretch out behind you. Not straight away, but the possibility is there. Good. But first, let the arms rest alongside the body. If you feel comfortable, if it's really relaxed with the legs out, then yes, I'll have the legs straight. But if not, maybe start with your supported back pose, having the knees bent. Good. Take the opportunity actually to turn, rolling the head. So once you feel like the head is fully relaxed on the ground, rolling head from side to side. Because a lot of the practices we've been doing, especially the standing ones, but even some of the, the cleaning the table, that wiping the table is, if you're not watching out for it, you can actually get quite tight in the neck. Yeah. So let's just roll the head a few times here from side to side with total weight supported of the head. And then bringing the head back to the center. So if your knees aren't bent, then you can bend them and actually bring them all the way up towards your chest. And you can do a few rounds of just rocking forward and back with your knees, easing your back. And circling, so keeping the knees together, but drawing circles. And changing direction. So we will be walking with Kandasana, the shoulder pose. Placing the feet firmly on the ground now. hip width apart, so making sure that the feet are flat, the toes are part of that, support the knees just above or hip width apart. The arms alongside your body. Minding your neck here. So when you stop going up, that the chin isn't going to pop up. So first we do the very classical one, which the arms will still stay alongside the body or on the ground, and literally just lifting up your back. And we're going to do this actually 3 times so that you have enough time. You don't have to fly up. You don't have to kind of even go the first time into your absolute full, full pose. So just take your time. When you're coming up, you can breathe freely, rolling the lower back onto the ground, and then just coming up slowly and really minding your knees again. Make sure they're not uncomfortable, they're not under any strain. So you might have to place the feet a little bit further forward if that's the case. And that the knees don't move out to the side. So coming up vertebrae by vertebrae, and just see how that feels, how even just how heavy the trunk may feel today for you. And then also coming down slowly. So it's only the 3rd time you will be staying up. Yeah, so take a bit of time to just getting yourself ready for that. Watching out, as I said, for your neck. So when you're coming up for the 3rd round, then preparing to stay in it. So what do you need for staying in it when you're going to stay a little bit longer? So anybody who's quite high up beyond the shoulder blades, you might see if you can walk a little bit from side to side to pull the shoulders away from the ears. And what that will do is it actually will bring your arms that little bit closer together underneath your back. But I don't say now together. We're not actually doing the variation where you're going to interlock your fingers and stretch into your elbow. So the arms are just coming closer together. And that actually will give you more stability. So for anybody who's quite flexible with the shoulder, it's actually, they have advantage. People with stiff shoulders or limited mobility, they actually do find that quite difficult to do, bringing the arms closer together underneath. And that's fine. You just work with what you got. So, but if the arms can get closer, that's what you want to get. And then really pressing on the back of the arms and pushing your chest, the sternum, the chest bone further up. Now, everybody minding the neck. Yeah, I can't actually see necks here now. So we're just making sure that the chins are not popping up. Good. So holding here. So there's a good combination between leg support. So the legs have to work hard, the buttocks, but also here your back of your arms and the back of your upper body, because if you're pressing the arms down, that's the muscles that kind of will be engaged here. So see if you can hold that for another few breaths, keeping the breath steady, in and out through the nose. Diaphragmatic breathing. So to come down, first release a bit around your shoulders and arms and make space between the shoulder blades. And then taking your time, coming down vertebrae by vertebrae by vertebrae. Slow coming down, walking with your core muscles. Once down, you might choose to extend the legs a moment, give the legs a rest. So the second round is bringing the arms up above your head. And that is always a bit more challenging because you now don't have the arms or the back of your arms and the back in this way supporting you. So if you already know that might be a little bit too strong for you, then go back to the first variation, the one we just did with the arms stayed down alongside your body. Good. So again, ask yourself, were my knees happy? Was that a good position for the knees? Can they do a second round with staying in it? Good. So finding that same position. The arms start with staying alongside the body. So the first part is lifting the trunk. So the arms will stay down for that. Good. So in your own time, coming up slowly. Again, don't fly up. Take your time, minding your knees, also the alignment, your neck. So once you're up, this time when you're fairly steady in this position, and you want to do the next variation, you imagine you have a block between your hands that is just a little bit wider than your trunk at the moment. So the palms will be facing towards each other. And then begin to lift that block up, lifting it up straight up towards the ceiling first, and then keep going behind you. So you keep the same width of your block and see if it's possible to place the block onto the ground. So, but you're not letting go of it. You're still holding onto it. So which actually means that your thumb is close to the ground or on the ground, and your little finger is facing upwards. And then imagine a little pull on your little fingers backwards. So helping you to just keep lifting the trunk up, keep lifting the chest. So once you're happy in that position, see if you can also maintain that for about maximum 5 breaths, between 3 and 5, slow, steady breaths, keeping the breath as soft and light as you can manage. Good. Staying in, nice, steady breath. So always give yourself enough strength and enough stamina to be able to first bring your block down again. So the arms will come down first while the trunk is still up. So it's actually, that's quite a challenge because you actually have to actively, keep lifting still up while the arms are going down. And then once the arms have reached down, you can place the palms downwards again to give a little bit of support, and then coming down vertebrae by vertebrae. Nice and slow. And then once you have come back down, again, give your legs a good stretch. Or maybe shake them out first, stretching out and give a shake. So the muscles, that was a lot for the thigh muscles, the front and the back of your thighs and the buttocks. And then going for the stretching out the back. So you can bring the knees up towards your chest. Again, hugging the knees in. Walking forward and back or side to side. And then also finally bringing the head and shoulders up and drawing yourself close in towards your knees, and you might even hold onto the feet if you can hold them or reach them comfortably. And letting go. Okay, so if you wish, you might do one more of that, so give yourself a good all over stretch, whole body. Good. And then we actually go for the relaxation. We have slightly longer time today now, which is also nice in a way to have a bit of extra time. So maybe please put some layers on if you feel you're gonna get a bit on the chilly side once you start relaxing. Good. So getting ready. Support your legs if you wish with something underneath your knees. Actually, one that's maybe worthwhile exploring sometimes if you find that's quite helpful with the knees supported, and you might even need a bit more. The one where you have the lower legs lying on a chair. That's a nice one too. So it just gives the lower back support. Okay. Going through your position, so make really sure that everything is comfortable now. Supported and at ease. Good. And then maybe with a big sigh. Okay, here now. I can let go, and I'm allowed and allowing myself, giving myself permission to be still and to rest and let the body be fully supported, feeling the body resting against the ground. Noticing the contact points between the body and the ground. In general, feeling the weight that's here now. Is there a particular heavy part of your body you can notice right now, or do they all feel equally heavy or not so heavy? Is there a difference between the right and the left side, or are they equally heavy? And now keeping the body still as we practice our rotation of awareness around the body. So as each part of the body has been named, visualizing it, feeling it, and really staying in general with the practice here. So we begin on the right side with the right thumb, feeling, sensing into the right thumb, right index finger, middle finger, ring finger, small finger, the palm of the right hand, wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, right shoulder, the right side of the chest, right hip, thigh, knee, lower leg, ankle, the sole of the right foot, right big toe, second toe, third, fourth, and the fifth toe. Awareness now of your whole right foot, whole right leg, whole right arm, the right side of the trunk, and now the entire right side of your body, the whole right side of the body. And I'm letting go of the right side and moving on to the left side now. Left thumb, left index finger, middle finger, ring finger, small finger, the palm of your left hand, wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, left shoulder, the left side of the chest, left hip, thigh, knee, lower leg, ankle, the sole of the left foot, left big toe, second toe, third, fourth, and the fifth toe. Awareness now of your whole left foot, whole left leg, whole left arm, the left side of the trunk, and now the entire left side of the body, the whole left side of the body. And now moving to the back of the body, awareness of both heels, calves, back of the knees, back of the thighs, both buttocks, lower back, middle back, and upper back, and the shoulder blades, and the whole length of the spine. Right up to the neck, to the back of the neck, and then moving up to the back of the head, and the very top of the head. And then we come to the face, bringing awareness to your forehead, the eyebrows and eyebrow center, eyes and eyelids, cheeks, nose, tip of the nose, upper lip, lower lip, and then both lips together. The chin, and that whole jawline from ear to ear. Both ears, and now the whole face together. And then bring awareness to the front of your throat, both collarbones, the chest bone, and the middle part of the rib cage. That whole heart space, and the whole abdominal navel area. And then the whole front of the trunk together. And now awareness of the entire body. That sense of the whole body here, from head to toe, the fingertips, the whole body. The whole body. The whole body resting here in stillness and awareness, with ease. So enjoying a moment of silence, externally, internally. resting here. So slowly allowing the breath to deepen and to expand. Feeling and sensing your body. If you want to continue to rest, you're welcome to continue with your relaxation. So otherwise, in the usual way, you might stop moving and coming to sit up. And then we bring our hands together into prayer pose and complete our practice with our 3 shantis. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you.